This section is on isosceles and equilateral triangles. Here is a picture of an isosceles triangle. An isosceles triangle is a triangle where at least two sides are congruent. So these two sides that are congruent, those are called the legs. So we have, it doesn't have to be oriented this way, but here's a leg on the left, leg on the right. This third side can be thought of as the base. So we have the two legs, and according to the isosceles triangle theorem, the angles opposite the two legs will be congruent. So we have base angle on the left, base angle on the right. These two legs are the same. Here's the vertex angle up top, and of course all three angles have to add 180. These two are the same, these two are the same. And it goes the other direction too, where if the two angles are congruent, we know the two sides are the same. So it's at least two sides congruent. Usually we just mean two. If we're talking about all three sides, then we'll generally call that an equilateral triangle. All three sides are the same. Because these two sides are the same, these two angles have to be the same. These two sides are the same, so these two angles have to be the same. Consequently, all the angles are the same amount, and so 180 divided by 3, each angle is 60 degrees in an equilateral triangle. And so with those relationships, we can solve for some other relationships within figures and angle measures. So we'll do some sample problems of that here. Okay, for number 1 here, because these two angles are the same, I can say, I'll just call this one x for the time being. So I've got 2x plus 110 is 180, 2x is 70, so x is 35, and then since both angles were the same, we know y will also be 35 degrees. Over here, this is going to be a right angle because here I have all sides are the same, these will both be 90, and then because this is an equilateral triangle on the right, I know this will be 60 degrees. For the same reasoning, this will be 60. Now, around a single point, there are 360 degrees. So I can say that t plus 60 plus another 60 plus 90 is going to be 360. So then t plus 210 is 360. So finally, subtracting 210, t is going to be 150 degrees. Okay, down here, let's see, 125 is a linear pair with x, so 180 minus 125 is going to be 55. I know that this one will also be 55 since this is an isosceles triangle. If you add these two together, you get 110, and then 180 minus 110 will be 70 degrees for y, and then 55 is a linear pair with z, so that'll be 125. So you see basically we have some symmetry here. All right, down to this one. Because these two angles are the same, we have these two sides are the same, so we simply let x equal 2x minus 6, and I'll add 6 to both sides and subtract x from both sides, so x is 6. Over here, this is 60. I know that this is also going to be 60 in here because basically this cuts right down the middle through this isosceles triangle. I know it cuts through the middle because that's a right angle. This is 60 because it's an equilateral triangle. For the same reason, that's 60. So I have z plus 1, 2, 3, 4 plus 4 60s is equal to 360. So z plus 240 is 360. So then z is going to be 120 degrees. Okay, for this next set of problems, we have this large figure to the right. So we'll just do the odd ones. So CA is over here, and because this angle is congruent to this angle, CA will be congruent to GA. And then let's see, EC is right here, and this angle is congruent to this angle, so EC will be congruent to, that's a DC. And then for HB is over here, and this angle is congruent to this angle, so HB will be congruent to CB. Now, if angle D is 25 degrees, so let's put that in. So angle D this is 25 degrees, and we want to find FAL. FAL is this angle up here. Well, we know this is also 25. This is 90, and so if we do 180 minus 90 minus 25, we'll get that angle up there, FAL, and that comes out to 65 degrees. And then for 19, we want DLA, and DLA is simply this angle, that's 90 degrees. And lastly, let's take a look at 21. If this is 110, these two angles here are a linear pair, so x is going to be 70 degrees. We do 180 minus 110, and then we've got 90 here. And so just looking at the triangle here on the right side, what we can do is 180 minus 90 minus 70, and that's going to give us, for that angle, that'll be 20 degrees. That's what y will be.